Hello there and welcome. My name is Jimmy Wickman, and in this video we're going to talk a little bit about how do we keep up to date with incidents and critical vulnerabilities in the Atlassian platform. So a lot of people have asked, how do I actually keep tabs on what is happening in the Atlassian ecosystem and where do I find the information? And I understand why. It's not super easy to actually find it. So in this video, we're going to go through where you find it and what you can use it for. So let's start by jumping into the Atlassian website. So we can see from the Atlassian website, where can I actually find this information? So here we are now on the Atlassian website that today is extra flashy when they are promoting the Team 24. So let's scroll by that one so you don't get whiplash from it. So on the Atlassian page here, it's a little bit hidden, but you have a way to find vulnerabilities. The things that they have found that they need you to patch, basically, if you're on data center or if you are on an old server version. So in order to find that, the first thing that you need to do then is to scroll all the way down here, and you need to find the one that's called Trust and Security. And in the Trust Center here, you will have a lot of information on how Atlassian secure things and what they are doing then to protect their architecture and their products. And under data protection here, which is not super obvious because it's not always data that we are referring to, but for some reason they have placed it here. So under data protection now here, you will have a little box that says Security Advisories. So this is where Atlassian publish known as critical vulnerabilities, so-called CVEs. So if you go to this page here, you will see that they have the different bulletins here that they put out. And the last one here actually came out, I think it was yesterday or the day before. So this is for March. And if you go into this one, you will find a massive wall of text here. So this is a lot of information. And let me see if I can zoom this one a little bit. There, should be easier for you to see. And so here they have then all the information. They have what kind of product it is related to and what kind of possibility or possible vulnerabilities they are referring to. And this one can be a little bit daunting to look into, and especially since it's squeezed a little bit. So you can also, from this page with the Security Advisors and Bulletin, you can see that there is something called a Vulnerability Disclosure portal. This one is usually a little bit easier to browse. And so here you can now select then either on summary, you can select based on the product, you can have what version. So if you have a specific data center version or server version, you can select this one, and you can also see when it was published. And you can also search based on severity. And in this list here, then you will see the different CVEs. You can see a summary of them, and you can see, most important, perhaps a severity, and also which products they are referring to. And when you see duplication like this, so let's just actually pick the worst ones here. So if we take this one, and let's do the one that came out the day before. So these are the latest CVEs that we actually had posted now on, let's see, on the 19th. It is 2 days ago. And so this one is actually the highest value that you can have. And this is an SQL injection vulnerability. So if I click into this one, you will see then that this one is related then to data center. And here you will also see that it's also related to Bamboo. So there are duplicates here in this one. And from this one, when you go into this one, you will actually see these two buttons. So the first one will go to the Jira, what we call it, the bug and ideas section, where you can actually submit tickets. And surprisingly few people know that you can actually submit tickets and follow tickets that are open suggestions or that are open bugs. But if I click on this one, and you will actually go now to Jira, and you will see this one is actually a list where you have multiple ones. And again, let me zoom in a little bit here so you can see what it is actually look like. So this one is within actually Jira's own tool, and so they have actually made this one publicly available here. So here you can see that this is a public security vulnerability, and then you have all the information. And if you're logged in, which I'm not here, then you can actually comment on this one. So you can actually help the team with more information if it's an incident, or ask questions or complain like a lot of people do. And this is not the only one, so this one is just one of the many projects that you have. So you can actually go to Jira here, and then you will actually see these are all the lists. So you have the bugs and suggestions, and these are for all these tools. So on this page, you can actually go anytime you want. And if you want to make a suggestion then for Atlassian Intelligence, for example, then you can actually do that here. And you can even vote when you are logged in, so you can vote and make them more popular and lift them up in the eyes of Atlassian. So let's go back to this one. The other button here is to, not button is then to the, let's see what it's called, I forget the name of it. It is the National Vulnerability Database. So this is an open database for the United States, where we actually have vulnerability and information about it. So sometimes Atlassian can have a different rating, for example, than what the NST will have. And this one you can also set up a filter for if you want to keep track of it. And so if I want to do that one, this one is a little bit weird because you cannot actually get to this one. So if you click on the logo here, you will get the National Institute of Standards and Technology, and I have not yet found the link to the vulnerabilities database from this one. So what you do instead is you need to go then to click on this one, and here you will actually have the vulnerability list. And if you click on vulnerabilities here, and then you can have search and statistics. That's very slow. Hello? Hey, oh, it was very slow. And then if I input Atlassian here, and I can then just choose to search just for the last 3 months, or I can have for all time, and I can have overview or statistic, basic or advanced. And if I just click on search here now, then you will find then that all the CVEs that have been published on this site will be available for you, and you can click into it and you can see more information, the same information that we had before. So that was this page then. Let's go back to the previous one. So you have the vulnerability disclosure, you have the security advisor and bulletins, and you also have more information then from the security page here. So all of these are for known vulnerabilities. Usually these are published only when there's a fix for it. So if you look at the bulletin here and you check different things here, so you can see then that you have, these are the affected versions and these are the fixed versions. So they do not normally publish vulnerabilities that people can exploit before they have the fix for it. And that kind of makes sense because we don't want to let the hackers know more than they have to about the possibility of vulnerability, because we want to keep things safe. So this is just an information to the customers like us that there is a possibility that you have a hole in your software. So update that one to a newer version as soon as possible. But what happens then when you have an immediate problem, like when Jira Cloud, for example, goes down because there's a bug in it or an incident created in it right here, right now, because all of these are coming out after the fact that they have been investigated. So where can I find all of these things? Well, if you go back to the Atlassian page, it's actually going to be very difficult to find it. But there is a page that is actually called the status page. So status.atlassian.com. This one will hold the information of all the cloud products here. So you will see their status here. And you can also click in. So if we want to see, for example, for software here, we can see that yesterday there was actually an outage, an incident that was logged here. So there was a problem with creating issues and transitions. And if you click on the title for this one, you can follow the whole flow for it. So in this case, it was kind of a quick fix. So they actually had it only for 4 hours or something like that. So not a whole lot of information has been posted here because they fixed it fairly quickly. But if you look at all the ones, let's see, do we have? Yeah, these ones have more information in. So as they investigate the incidents, they will also update this one. And you can also subscribe to these ones. If you go at the top here, you can subscribe to updates for it. And you can also report a problem. So if you want to submit basically an incident ticket to them, if something is not working properly, then you can do that from here. And all of these are also up and divided into different components. So you know which of the components are at risk or is compromised. So that was how these things work. So this is where you will have the immediate problems. So this one is very good to subscribe to. I think I'm subscribed to all the products here, so I get notified when something is happening. And because that way you can also talk to your customers, or if you, like me, are employed, then you can talk to your stakeholders that something is not working as properly, and you can very quickly put this up in your portal as we know that this is a problem. You don't need to report it, and there is a global or an official incident for it in this page, so the Atlassian status page. And then people go here and they can keep tabs on that one. And as the incidents are getting updated, you will also get notified. So then you can basically just copy paste and tell people what is going on, or you can write your own and have it sent out to your stakeholders. And the other one then, like we said here, this is the security bulletins, where you will have the CVEs, which you will have then in basically 3 pages or 3 sections. So you have the security advisors and bulletins that comes out regularly and that posts different things on a regular interval. So you see we have one every month here basically. And then you have the vulnerability disclosure, which is a database where you have them individually grouped. And so you can go in and read one by one. And then you have when you go into this one, you can then go to the national database and read more about it from their perspective. And you will also have a quick link then to Jira's own public Jiras for suggestions and for bugs. And if you keep track of these, then you will have a fairly good understanding of the current situation within Atlassian Cloud and also data center and server. So that is how I keep track of things. Of course, you also have the social media and things like that, but they are more unofficial. So you either have good sources and good people from Atlassian or content creators that have contacts within Atlassian that can give you information. Then you can have that as kind of an extra source. But these 2 sources are usually the most common ones. For those of you who have vendors that are handling your licenses or that you are partners with, then they also get these special bulletins a few days in advance, so they can actually help people upgrade before this one actually becomes public. So there you have it. Those are the sources I use to keep track of what kind of vulnerabilities there are and also the status of the different pages. And there are also a number of status sections basically for the different APIs and stuff like that. But I'm not going to cover those in this one because they are a little bit messy because you have different versions of these things. So, but just know that there are additional sources, and if you want, then please add comments to this one and give people your best links to where you can find updates on the APIs and different other sources. And also if you have links to the most popular applications, for example, then you can also add those here in the comments so we can all get a better view on the status of our products. So that was all I had for this one, and I guess the only thing that remains for me to say now then is that I hope that you will have an awesome day, a great week.